Well, I'm excited. There's no doubt about it. This is day 21 of the Understandable Lifestyle Programme. And you know what day 21 means? Yes, we're moving into the execute section of this 30 days. So the first 10 days was about composing ourselves, relaxing, centering ourselves, take a deep breath, do some mindful style stuff. The middle 10 days was about building self-belief. Yes, we can, and so forth. Positive affirmations, incantations, mantras that reaffirm to ourselves that we are capable of achieving our goals. Now, this is day 1 of 10 classic life coaching exercises. Behind me here we have an introduction to the T-GROW model. This is a backbone of life coaching. What does T-GROW stand for? Allow me to introduce you to it. T is the topic. So the topic is something that you will choose. Pick the topic, whatever it is you want, whatever area of your life it is that you want to work on. I am, for the sake of this discussion, going to use health and body weight / body composition as the topic. Goal is G, so you've got goal there. What is your goal? We're looking at SMART goals, which I'll explain in a second. R stands for reality. What is your actual situation? And it's worth being as honest as possible with that. So rather than kidding ourselves, get a good handle on where you are currently at with it all there. O is options. What courses of action are available to you in this moment with regards to the topic that you've chosen? W stands for way forward. Way forward. It could also stand for the word will, i.e. what will you or I, what will we actually do? So that's T-GROW. Think of your topic, write down your goal, jot down where you are currently at, think about what you could possibly do, then what are you actually going to do, and what's the map or the route going forwards. So we're in this position now where we're working towards executing our goals from a stable position. And these goals, we want them to be SMART. So bear in mind, this video is just a quick introduction. It's an overview. It's a taster of all this. SMART as an acronym, something that you may have come across if you've done personal development style things in your workplace, stands for specific, measurable, action orientated. I've got action there. Realistic, so we've got the reality there again, realistic. You know, what are we actually going to do? We want to celebrate little victories, give ourselves realistic goals instead of setting unrealistic goals that we may end up defaulting on and then thinking, oh God, it's just another thing I failed in. T is time bound. So there's more information about this, by the way, in the emails, and there will be in the PDF ebook of the Understandable Programme. I've put my email address below, stresscoachtom@gmail.com, so ping us an email, get in touch, and I'll send you the full programme upon its completion. So here we are, T-GROW, SMART. I'm going to use body composition as an example here. If we want to trim down, then we might say to ourselves, I want to be less fat. Well, that's a statement for sure. However, it's not really a SMART goal because it's not action orientated. I want to be less fat. It's a negative statement. It's not time bound because we're not saying by such and such a date I would like to achieve these results. Not overly measurable, it kind of is, but it's certainly not specific. Yes, it's realistic, but again, it's not specific enough to know when you've succeeded. So rather than I want to be less fat or I don't want to be fat anymore, again, you know, if you've got negative words in your goal, then try to positively reframe it to something that's action orientated that you can physically do. So we might say, I would like to shed 4 pounds of body fat. Okay, well, we're getting more specific, that's good news. It's measurable, yes, because I've said 4 pounds. Kind of action orientated because it implies some kind of movement and dietary change. It's certainly realistic, 4 pounds is doable. time bound. How long do I want to give myself to lose 4 pounds? Let's say 2 weeks. It's realistic, 2 pounds a week, which at a calorie surplus of 7,000 calories per week, so 1,000 calories a day. If I just shed the calories a bit and go for a decent jog, that'll be 4 pounds in 2 weeks. So it's time bound. Action orientated, it can be. What actions are going to be undertaken? Well, let's think of 3 things we can do in the next day. 1. Keep a 24-hour food diary. That is doable. So that is certainly time bound, 24 hours. It's realistic. It's just a piece of paper. You write down what you've eaten. So yes. It's action orientated because I'm physically doing something. So that's good news. It's measurable because at the end of that 24 hours I can go, yes, that's occurred. So it's measurable there and it's specific. So a 24-hour food diary for anyone who is attempting to embark upon any weight loss journey, I would say, well, can you keep a food diary for 1 day, for the next day? That's a smart goal. In the next day, I can choose to replace processed foods with whole foods. Replace processed with whole. I can certainly do that for 1 day. That is realistic. For 1 day. Could I commit to doing that for a full week though? Maybe not, because what about if day 5 or 6 rolls around, it's the weekend, someone says, oh, let's watch a film. I think, oh, I'm going to have a piece of chocolate or cheesecake, vegan cheesecake. Then I might default on that goal, so I might say, certainly for 1 day, for the next 24 hours I can replace processed food with whole foods, and we'll do so for 5 out of the next 7 days. Again, that's realistic because I want to celebrate these small victories and keep celebrating small victories on the way to achieving the goal. It's time bound, I give myself 7 days. Action orientated because I'm replacing processed food with whole food. I'm not just saying I'm going to stop eating chocolate. I'm going to say in place of chocolate I will have bananas and get more specific with it over time. What else could be done in the next day? I will listen to 3 minutes of positive affirmations. You know, I love a good affirmation. 3 minutes of affirmations focusing on health. And we'll commit to doing that every other day for the next week. Every other day for 7 days. Every other day, just scribbling away there now. 7 days. So, I've gone from a topic of personal health, body composition. The goal, which was just trimmed down a little bit, is to now shed 4 pounds of body fat in 14 days. I didn't get into details really about my reality options or way forward here. A little bit touched on it, but worked onto the SMART element. Then 3 things that we can do in the next day or week. So you've got this like 1 to 7 day process. 3 things. Make sure it's something, I think realistic is the key thing here to take away, because unrealistic goals, when not met, contribute to this sense of, oh, that's just another thing I didn't do. Whereas if we keep celebrating little victories as we go, then it builds positive momentum and brings us closer to it. So, in a nutshell, T-grow, SMART. Try and list 3 things that you can do in the next day and the next week, and play around with this format with regards to many of your goals. As a side note, I had to turn the air conditioning off before doing this video, and wearing a teal shirt may have revealed the scorching temperatures in here. I think the hat is also surprisingly warm.